Actually,
haven't
let's talk
watched
about
season
something
3.
that's really divisive between us. Lower Decks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I still haven't watched past episode 1.
I'm going to struggle with
to
Lower
give
Decks.
it another go, but it was just too much.
I will struggle talking about it. It's all merged into one in my mind. I watched it all like really quickly, and I can't
There's a
remember
reason
individual
why it
episodes.
merged into one in your mind, mate.
Yeah,
There's a
I
reason why
can't
that.
remember individual episodes at all.
It's, I
I
who's
loved
going to
it,
go
though.
first then?
It was good.
I can get it out of the way and say from what
In
I've
my
seen, I
opinion.
like it. but I've only seen one episode, so
Yeah, I mean, I when you
me,
said what you
free
said,
talk.
yeah, they're just too fast. Yeah,
But
that definitely is a case of the first episode. Just shut the fuck up.
The first episode, like I said to Sean before, is the worst episode.
Yeah.
And it's a sad but very true point. But it gets a hell of a lot better from episode 2 onwards.
It does. Yeah. Yeah, the first episode was a bit poo.
I sit in this weird area with it because it's kind of, I'm going to cut it a lot of slack on the basis that it's supposed to be a comedy. So it's not like that you take it seriously. And if the jokes don't land with you, then that's fine. The jokes don't land with you. And I'm sure there's people out there that the jokes land with, and that's okay. I really appreciated some of the random comments they made and background references, like, oh, we don't want some new captain in here. It's going to go all Jellicoe on us, because there was a Captain Jellicoe in TNG who ran the ship while Picard was on the mission in a couple of episodes. Little references like that is quite fun. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like it didn't land enough with me for me to want more. And I think I said this to Harry before. It's kind of like I'm thinking, why are these two main people friends, Boimler and the woman?
Yeah.
This is actually very true. You did make a good point there.
And it's kind of like I get after episode 1 he's supposed to be spying on her or something, but I got the impression they were supposed to be friends or at least associates before that. And Harry's like, no, they just work on the same ship. And it's like, true, but then they're
more like
too
colleagues
familiar for that. Yeah.
Well,
Come on, there's people that we've worked with before that we don't necessarily like, but we kind of get on because it's mutual benefit to kind of be all right.
I would say the best analogy. The best analogy here would be kind of. Who are you pointing at, Harry? There's no one up there.
Still,
this guy here.
Yeah,
when you've got to work with somebody who really is not your cup of tea, you just kind of make it work, and then you kind of bond with this weird, you hate each other but you kind of rely on each other thing. And it does make sense because they don't choose to be mates; they have to be.
Also, what I really, really like about it's not necessarily the two main characters, but the rest of the cast is amazing. I mean, my favourite character is the cat. The cat woman is the Doctor, who's just an asshole to everybody.
I think that's what my main problem was as well. It's like, why am I supposed to like these main two characters? Because they're fucking irritating and stupid. It's like,
don't think you are supposed to like them. They don't come across as people you're supposed to like.
No,
okay,
This is just supposed to understand them.
This goes to the point of the comedy, doesn't it? Because it's kind of like, you don't have to like them because it's supposed to be a comedy. He's supposed to be a bit of a coward because of the jokes you can get from that. She's supposed to be a bit of an ass because of the jokes you can get from that, and it goes from there. But like I was saying, if the jokes don't land, the jokes don't land, and that comes down to your own personal opinions and whether you like the jokes or not.
Yeah, but I think, Harry, like the first episode, for me, the jokes didn't land. It annoyed me more than I actually found it funny. But I kind of stuck through it, and I appreciated it further on. As it went on, it going, okay, that's actually good. I quite like that.
I quite like the first officer when he has to fight the big giant alien thing, and he rips his shirt off and starts doing like double-handed fist punching like constantly. I was just like, that had me in stitches. I was like, this is amazing.
There's some jokes like that were genuinely amazing.
Especially, it just basically takes Star Trek tropes and just pokes fun at Star Trek, and you kind of just sit there and go, this is what I'm expecting, and this is kind of how I'm enjoying this.
Oh. It's the Chief O'Brien joke at the end of one of the episodes.
I love that. He is so important to me.
So, now we must go to the most important character in recent history, Chief O'Brien. It's a
Oh, come on, Boimler. They'll just forget about this. They're coming up with new rules and new names all the time. I'm sure you'll get forgotten about.
It's 1,000 years in the future. Now, The boiler effect.
Jesus,
Now,
the
Chief
laziest
O'Brien.
Starfleet officer ever.
And to be fair, though, Chief O'Brien, arguably probably one of the best Starfleet officers ever.
Oh yeah.
No, he did serve on the Enterprise, right? So that's good
He
enough.
served on the Enterprise, he served on the Defiant, he got Cardassian, Bajoran, and Federation technology to work all together, and it shouldn't do, but he did. He's a bit of a genius. So, yeah.
And he had a wife.
And he had a hot Asian wife, yes.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you get the cool appearance of fucking Riker on the Titan.
On the Titan. Yeah, see, why haven't they done a thing about the Titan yet? The Titan's a fucking beautiful story with like fucking Riker on that. That's amazing.
Maybe they'll do it in season 2.
Yeah.
Well, they won't, because it'll be back on like the Nebuchadnezzar or whatever the hell their ship's called.
Nebuchadnezzar.
We bring it back.
That's the ship from the Matrix.
Yeah.
I know, it's the only
Why
one I can
not?
think
They
of.
might throw the Nebuchadnezzar in. Why not? Well, it's not. It's never going to do what I would class as good episodes. It's not an epic, good show. It's that's. I think that's why what I like about it. It's not trying too hard. It's light and easy to watch, and it's a joke, and it's fine. It's not trying to pull your heartstrings or be epic in any way.
Oh no, it's definitely not that kind of show. No, I understand.
It's really easy to watch.
It's just.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so
That's
people
perfect.
seem to think that it's very similar to Final Space, and it isn't at all.
No,
The animation style is very similar, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where the
I
similarities
don't
end.
think I watched. I think I watched one episode of Final Space, and I didn't really understand it, so I just went, "Nah, can't bother."
Then you're a fool, Rob. You're a fool.
I'll probably try again. I will,
Fool.
you know.
You
Well,
must
but if you just think of it as Gary is just Jack in space.
pretty much.
I'll give it another go.
Especially series 1, Gary, is
And
definitely
it-
best.
Also, if you've only watched the first episode, it's the same problem that Lower Decks has. The first episode's not
Yeah.
the best episode of that.
Yeah.
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first watched
Yeah,
Final
it's
Space,
just
Harry
going.
got me to binge all of it, like all of series 1 in like a day, and it works. It really does. Just binge
Yeah.
all of series 1 in a day.
I
if you
think
can.
it's probably because like I have this issue now where I've reached this point in my life where I often can't be bothered with a new thing.
I know.
Like I just can't be bothered.
9 times out of 10, it's not worth it anyway.
Yeah. and
9
I'm
times
just
out
like,
of 10, I just
do I
think
want to
grade
get
7
into
on
a
and just
whole
forget
new
about
thing?
everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like at least Lower Decks is like, well, I know a lot of it.
You know Star Trek, so it's
I know
okay.
stuff. I'm familiar with a lot of the tropes. I don't have to relearn a whole new franchise. Whereas, yeah, you start off a new thing. It's like I can't. Do I want to invest my time and effort into something I've never seen before?